The report played a pretty significant role in our decision to purchase the house.
The floors are out, the ceiling's out, the walls are out, everything's out.
Yeah.
We head to the basement and it's like disaster.
Pull out the electrical, pull out the HVAC.
Everything is wrong with the house.
It was even worse than I thought. That really sucks.
Jeff and Josette bought a new house. Now, the home inspector looked at it and said, saggy floors, it's an older home. You know, the doors are crooked, they don't close properly. You know, it's an older home, so it's standard. The two of them thought it was nothing they couldn't handle because the report really said minor issues. There's nothing really wrong with the house. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna do a thorough inspection, and I'm gonna see why those floors are sagging.
Jeff and I had been living in a loft, and while it was a nice big open space, it was only one room. So we decided to start looking to buy a house. And as soon as we walked into this house, we fell in love with the open concept. It was a gorgeous space, and it sort of continued the loft feel.
It's not a particularly large house, but the way the main floor is set up gives it a sort of larger feel because the structure's been modified to the extent where the dividing walls have been removed and opened up the entire space.
I thought the kitchen was a gorgeous space, very modern.
It also had a finished basement, which was an attractive feature for us.
Also, the backyard was very lush. It's a deep lot, so it would make for a nice backyard once we got to that stage.
The home seller had arranged for a home inspection. So when I came to look at the house the first time, the binder was available for everyone to see. So I spent a lot of time reading through the home inspection report, you know, and looking for the same thing that everyone else looks for. There's electrical issues in that most of the house had been redone and removed the knob and tube wiring, but there were still a few rooms on the second level that had it. You know, it mentioned that the backyard has a deck that needs to be redone, so that was well known going into it.
But it did mention that there was moisture, I believe, in the basement. But other than that, it seemed like a pretty clean report.
Josie.
Josette.
Josette. I'm Mike, nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet
Jeff.
you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Come on in. We really, you know, based our decisions, very big decisions, on that information. And we're really disappointed and surprised to find that there are issues that should have been addressed there and weren't.
And the main problem here is that we have sloping floors.
That's it. So one of the things, sort of top of the list, we wanted to do when we moved into the place was redo the upstairs bathroom. We'd called in a contractor to come and have a look at the space and talk with us about a few ideas. And honestly, within 5 minutes being in the house, he mentioned that redoing the bathroom was not a good idea until we took care of the structural issues. And he said, well, obviously someone's done some renos here. This is an older house, there used to be some walls and they're all gone. The second floor is sagging because the renovations that were done on the main floor here were not proper.
We checked ahead. I have the permitted drawings from 1989. So we did have a support right here. So the wall was about this big here. This was a main structure right here, picking up more than likely this beam here and this one that comes across picking up here. So somebody, since that time, has pulled that wall out. Actually, that wall went down and across here.
It's quite obvious that some renovations have been done, some structural modifications, and there were no comments regards to the structural state of the house, if it was good, bad, any issues that needed to be looked at. The report was completely silent on that front.
Wow. Okay, this is like really dropping.
Yeah.
The floors actually dropped away from the wall. That's what I'm seeing. Mm-hmm. On 8 feet, it drops 2 inches. It is actually dropped away from the wall. So there's a bottom 2x4 plate right there. The floor is sunk down, so it's almost like they've disconnected or just disconnected itself through the structure change.
Right.
We do have structural issues. On this side, you can see what they've done. Oh, it's quite the drop here. They put up a piece of what appears to be a doorstop or something to hide, to conceal that side, and then put up the trim, right? So they try to hide the illusion that we have an issue. On the other side, they didn't do that. Look at this. That is huge. You know what? I want to take a quick look at the basement. See what they did with that. This house makes me a little nervous.
You're making me nervous.
Somebody's covered up something. I can tell you that much because I'm walking in going, something's wrong.
Obviously, someone's done some renos here. This is an older house. There used to be some walls, and they're all gone. Upstairs, the floor is essentially sinking.
In the kitchen, there's a bulkhead down. It does a couple of things. It creates a look that the kitchen's on its own, almost like the rest of the room is vaulted up. More the reason is to run plumbing from the bathroom upstairs. Okay. Ductwork, they're gonna run everything in this path here. You know, if I open this up, we're gonna show a whole world of stories. But you can tell by looking at the cabinets right there that something's dropping. Is the cabinet not level?
It's pretty obvious now. You can notice that there's a big wedge.
Yeah, absolutely. We're about 1 inch here. We're about 1 3/4 on that side. But when I see this, it does create a concern. We know it's going to drop. Everything drops to the center. It runs this way, it runs this way, it runs this way, center, off center, because this is usually where the wall was, right in line with that beam, actually. Worst case scenario is we don't have proper structure point loads holding up load. I stand my arm up, I plant it on the ground, you can put a lot of weight on top of that. That's a point load, right? When these walls were removed, the beam itself should have been structurally supported at each end, directly down to foundation or footing. If not, we've got a big problem. You take out that point load, what the hell's holding it? We have a window in the back. What's on the other side of that window?
Round. It's a glass block wall, but 3/4 of it are below grade.
All right. Plywood floors, gotta love this. Well, there's no load bearing here. You see the black on the wall there?
Yep.
What do you think that is?
Don't say mold.
No, it's not mold.
Tar?
Yeah. What is tar supposed to be for?
Waterproofing
Where?
on the outside.
Correct. Not on the inside. It's full of chemicals that you're not supposed to be breathing on the inside of the house. We've got junction points galore here. So somebody's played with electrical. As far as I'm concerned, it's not passed. All I'm seeing is half the panel being used. Usually in a house like this that has this much electrical, every single breaker is used.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to really go through this house and find out what's the most important thing here. And I think least of your concern is that your floors are not level. I think you have a hell of a lot more things to worry about at this point that I'm really worried about. You know, anytime you want to know what your house used to look like, look at the house next door. It tells a world of things. Here's a great example. Front porch. Front porch. So this is how this house used to look like. Now this front porch is part of the front living room. The wall has been brought out to the pillar, same as this pillar, in the front. So if we know the floor is approximately right here, what's under it? Look at this one. Okay, we have an old door that opens outwards. What do we see here? That's wood. Wood is not supposed to touch ground. The only wood allowed to touch ground is pressure-treated wood. What happens when there's a lot of water in the driveway? It's going to get in the house. Old milk chute. Look next door. Look at the size of this window. Look at the size of this window. Now, there is a steel lintel here. I did take a look at that at the beginning. It is brought over. Okay, so they widened the window. Is it in the plans? The answer is no. This house has a whole lot of problems. Okay, so they take the line out to run the vent, air behind water running down the drain. It runs right up and is cut nice and neat to the soffit. I can see the cut from here. If anything, being so tight to that soffit, it's actually like putting your hand over the top of the pipe and you're not getting air behind water, which may explain some of their slow drains that they're talking about. That's like a minor concern compared to some of the things that I've seen in this house. They've created a jet out. They've created a jet out. For whatever reason, everyone seems to want that closet on the outside of the house. No handrail. No fence rail. That's not in the report. Okay, wood-burning fireplace downstairs. Bring it out through the ground, which you can't do because this is really a wall of earth that is being pushed against this pipe. It literally goes into the ground. You can see it. It's not allowed to go in the ground. It must be a certain height off the ground. Well, in truth, everything is aesthetics when it comes to buying and selling. People will spend more time looking for clothes than searching a proper home. Check it out. I walk through here and I'm panicking. Why am I panicking? Because I have a terrible feeling. I have a feeling I'm going to be ripping this house apart because it's been done all wrong. If I had inspected it, look at, I don't see a clean out on the plumbing. That's plumbing code. I need a clean out here because this is accessible. No permit, no permit, no permit, no permit. Don't buy the house. I do see a surface mold here. It's wet. And it is literally, it's full of mold. I'm gonna be very gentle not to raise too much doing this. It's not terrible. It's more wet and staying wet than anything. You see the mold. I should talk to Damon. 1989, there was a permit pulled to do all this, open all this up, so we can see how they beamed across, and this is standard what we're used to seeing. But you know, when you see the bulkhead that comes down with the bathroom up directly above us here, and you see the filler strip, like why is this not level?
You can see it from here.
Yeah, why is this not level? This was the easiest thing to make level, so nobody went up and actually picked up the floor joist and leveled the house. I'm starting to assume that when they put up their temporary wall to hold the floor joist so they could do all this work, it dropped. But looking at the floor and being right from this side out, you know, 2.5 inches dropped.
Well, I can actually feel it on my feet that you really want to fall this way and this way.
The floor has dropped over 2 inches here. This has created a bowl effect, and that's exactly where the wall should have been downstairs. We're gonna have to do some opening investigation about structure. So let's go back downstairs. I'll tell you what to open up.
Okay.
Let's start with the kitchen ceiling. I want to see how this structure is holding the floor.
Okay, so
Open up a channel in between the lights, as big as you can, okay? We want to see point levels. Okay. Open that up. We know there's a double in here. We know there's a hanger here. We know that somewhere in here there's a beam and there's probably a hanger here. We'll be able to see it from this side. What you can't see is from this side. We may have to open a hole. Like, don't panic. Don't go crazy and open up everything yet. I'm always gonna find every spot I can, right? To see structure. I see the panel. Right. So I'm seeing the 330 double breakers in here, plus the 40 for the stove, but I'm only seeing half the panel being used. I want a report from Frank. I want to know how bad the electrical is. I want to know about all the pot lights. I want to know about the attic space. I want to know about that wood-burning fireplace that's ducted out back that I don't like, that goes into the tree.
That's right.
I'm not gutting this place. So let's look at it. I
gutting
want to
it.
know about the structure. No, we're not gutting this. We can actually tell them, you know, in the future, you're going to have to save your money. You're going to have to gut the basement and redo the basement. But we do have to try and take care of what we can take care of where we're working.
I don't know whether to say thank you, my friend.
Not panic. No. Like I said, I think Damon's going to think I'm mad at him.
In the last 16 months, we bought a house, got engaged, got married, and got pregnant. Yeah, action-packed.
So we're gonna look at structure, we're gonna look at insulation, and just take a look at everything else and give some recommendations.
Do me a favor, don't go crazy. Don't open. Structure, I want open.
Yep.
Okay.
We gotta really protect the house, protect the floors, protect the art, protect everything you can, okay? So we'll start with that and we'll work our way towards construction. Everything looks really good. It's not. It's really deceiving. Upstairs, we have a bowl effect happening right at about this point right here. Now, looking at the original plans of the house, we knew that there was a L-shaped wall here that was a supporting wall supporting upstairs. 25, 30 years ago, someone changed the whole layout. They wanted open concept here. Okay, I'm gonna put you guys each on a point load. You're gonna open it up. I'm gonna start working on the bulkheads, okay? So Adam, let's open this one up here, okay? We see this, the beam is right here coming this way. I want to see what's this way, okay? Kate, I'm gonna get you to tackle that one, the same thing. Keep it 6 inches off each side of the corner bead. Just do a channel right down. So again, 10 inches off, 10 inches off the ceiling, just right down the middle. I just want to see where it's going, okay? You're gonna be opening up this one over here, okay? Just go from corner bead, edge of corner bead to edge of corner bead. There's about a million ways to show an unlevel floor. I find the best way is right here. And there is your bowl. Okay, that door's a little sticky. Something tells me looks like everything dipped here as well. The dip is not as bad as it is by the bathroom and the other bedroom, but it is bad here. And that's why we get this. Now the whole door is sticking at the top because the jamb has actually shifted towards the dip. That's what I have to fix. Right now we have our point loads open. I'd love to see that they used a metal beam in here. I want to see what the point load is showing me down below. That's kind of scary. Kate is now opening up that one over there. It's going to show me that point load there. Adam's opening up the one at the other end of this beam, which is right under the kitchen. This is the most important one. This is where the sag occurred, right above us. This is why I'm starting with this beam. It's going to show us a lot of what's happening upstairs. So I know it's strange to start the plumbers outside, but this is where I think the troubles really begin. Nothing is draining properly in the house at all, guys. And I think this is why. This looks like a vent, and I'm assuming it's for this stack, and they have it plugged up at the soffit. Like no indication in the report, anything about this pipe. So I'm a little curious to find out where that's going.
The best approach would be to cut a piece of it, run a video camera.
Okay.
And I'll be able to find out exactly where it takes me.
That would be fantastic.
Right? And then also I'll be able to determine how far it goes and where it terminates. Now there's a good possibility there's a bird nest there. So even if it is a vent, it absolutely is useless at this stage because it doesn't allow any air to circulate. I'll bring electric snake. I'm going to try to clear that debris there, and then run the video camera again to determine how far I can get and what actually this vent is used for.
Okay, a few things that I see in the panel that are a problem. When we took the panel cover off, there's a breaker spot that is still on, and it's covering one of the breakers. This breaker will never trip. The ground here is in the wrong position. It's under with the neutral lug. It should be on its own up here on the ground bar. These staples up here are 2 under a staple, which is not a good thing. All staples should be on their own. It gives it room to breathe, and the wire to breathe, and there's no pinching of the wires. And yeah, we're gonna have to take a look.
So the original inspector actually said that there's about an R32 up here. There's about an R20 up here at the most. The insulation, the pink insulation looks really good. Pick it up, look underneath it. There's about 2 inches of insulation below that. It's not enough up here. You have full access seeing these skylights here. Talk about heat loss, no kidding. You have to properly insulate a skylight in order to keep the heat in your house. Otherwise, if you're just drywalling into an attic, think about the heat loss you're gonna have. I just pulled a piece of insulation off of this. If this is exhausting from the bathroom, underneath a piece of insulation, what is that doing to your insulation? What is that doing to the framing, the wood, the joists? It's rotting basically everything because you're drawing all that moisture and it's not ever making it outside. It's sitting in your attic.
Inspection report stated they had some airflow issues here. What it didn't state is the reasoning why they had the issues. These are one of the issues, these 3 runs sharing this one run, and there's no return airs on this first floor. Your return air brings the air back to the furnace, which actually blows the air out of each supply vent. You don't have any return here. So you have no air going back to the furnace, therefore you've got no air blowing out into the room.
We're on the back of the kitchen, and this vertical post actually comes down onto the rim plate, but there's nothing above this window. You can actually stick your fingers out. If you put your fingers
There's no
in there,
lintel here?
There's nothing.
There's no structural lintel here?
There's nothing. There's glass block, and that beam sits right on one single 2x6.
I cannot believe that there's no signs that this has actually started shifting.
No, there's no cracking here before we started opening it, nothing.
Man.
Oh, more fun. Yeah.
Junction box. Junction box.
Look what we just found.
Oh, jeez. Don't tell me
Both
that's
wires and
It's live.
yeah.
What happens when the electrical hits this? The whole thing.
Boom.
Goes live. Yeah. So we had Ethan in.
Engineer.
He is obviously not happy. First of all, he thinks these are undersized. He's going to double check on that. He hates this connection, which we both knew. He'd rather see a full bracket clip there as well as back there. He did not like that at all. He does not like that connection
custom
at all.
steel bracket hanger, is that what he's
Absolutely.
Okay. This is sitting on the floor, it's not on structure.
It's just floating on the floor. There's nothing underneath that. That's really bad there. This is sitting on the end joist like we saw. We knew that. Below it is that block glass window with no lintel above
Oh,
it.
you gotta be kidding me.
There's no lintel. I can actually put my hands outside.
You got it. The window is directly under this load.
Directly under this load, and there's no lintel.
That's just as bad as that location.
Absolutely. And I can't believe we're not seeing signs of cracking in this house. I don't understand.
Now that we've opened everything up and you can take a clear look, you know, it's amazing what happens when we open things. Steel beams. Let's first talk about steel beams.
Sure.
So we have a correct vertical column here. If you look over at this column here, the steel one, it doesn't look in the same direction as this one.
No.
So we brought in an
Good eye.
engineer, and he
It's
said,
fun.
that one's wrong.
Oh my God.
So once again, brings us back to the point, at least these two are over top of foundation walls.
At least that's good.
So we have proper point load,
Okay.
proper installation of the point load, okay?
Right.
So we know that this vertical beam is wrong. We know that the tie-ins are wrong. We know that this beam by the engineer is undersized. It is sitting right on the floor.
There's nothing holding that.
Worse, it gets worse. This tie-in is incorrect. This tie-in is incorrect. They removed the wall that used to be here holding this up.
Right, right.
When we come over to this side here, this one here is the vertical holding up the floor quad here, the quad, I'll call it the quad beam, okay? Now this is now sitting over top of the window downstairs that has no lintel.
Oh my God.
There's way more. Come into the kitchen.
Man.
Way more, we just begun. Did you not notice we have electrical lines actually coming out of the stainless steel?
I haven't actually spotted those before.
Inspector should have caught this, that we have the lines coming out, drilled holes in the stainless steel, very sharp holes when it comes to stainless steel. Electrical touching, metal touching, you touching is a very bad mix. Good thing there's not a sink here. Look up and see the ductwork. That is one duct line that comes up from downstairs and branches off in 3 different locations. There are no air returns at all in your house. In the report, the home inspector said he poked his head through the attic. In the report, he says we want a minimum of 40 R value. And he says there's about a 32 R value in there, which there's not.
No, there's probably 20 at the most, and I'm being generous.
Not to mention that there's right in front of your eyes insulation missing on the columns of the skylights.
It's incredible. The feeling of your stomach sinking right out from underneath you when the news of how much is wrong with this place is thrown at you. It's incredible.
So we've done a lot of damage to your house, and I'm sorry, but it's what we have to do when it comes to fixing things. So let's go back to visual. Right above us is the vertical 4x4s holding the point load, the biggest weight load. What is beneath it?
Nothing.
Nothing.
There's nothing here.
Nothing.
A door. That is completely mind-blowing, how anyone could ever imagine that that's an adequate way to support a structure.
I know the panel is not even loaded, and I know you've got a lot of electrical, which leads to tell me that we have issues with electrical to the point so much that you are overloaded on every single circuit in this house, and that's point of junction boxes throughout the house.
And right here, Mike, before you go, got another junction box here, and if you can see here, it looks like we have asbestos-wrapped pipes.
And we do.
We have asbestos.
So
in
at one time we had rads in the house. So you do have asbestos in the house. You've got a kid on the way, don't you?
Yeah.
One, you don't want a kid coming into a house with asbestos. That's so. Let's go to the window.
It's terrifying. I mean, we've been living here. I've been pregnant now for, you know, just under 5 months. So I've been living here in that state for 5 months. It's kind of scary.
Structurally, again, that load is approximately right here, okay? That is over top, so it's over top of the window. If you were to put your hand in above that, you will feel no lintel whatsoever above this, nor, once again, when I saw this, do we put a window underground.
And it is astounding that thing hasn't collapsed. Honestly, there's so much load over that area and there's no lintel and it's sitting on glass block.
This has become, opening up to verify, we see walls over there, we're finding mold. We now found asbestos, we found plumbing problems, we found electrical nightmare, structural nightmare.
There's asbestos, there's mold, there's everything you can think of is wrong with the house.
We've opened up a nightmare. We have to fix the nightmare the right way, just to gut your whole house. Remove the mold, remove the asbestos, pull out the electrical, pull out the HVAC, pull out the plumbing, pull out absolutely everything in this house, including you and your furniture. Redo the whole house at a cost of about $300,000.
It's hard to comprehend how many things are actually wrong with this place. How can it be that almost everything needs to get fixed? It's unheard of.
We're in trouble.
This is incredible. Completely unexpected.
The type of house I don't want to walk into. The type of house that I want to say, we can't fix this. We can't fix this. It's too much. What's better? Take it out, take it down and build a new one?
Almost.
That's what you're saying.
It's basically going to be that at the end.
Blow it up.
That's insane.
You're an engineer, aren't you?
True, I am.
What do you do?
Actually work in the wireless business.
Wireless.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good, because if you were engineer and structure, I'd be giving you hell right now.
So would I.
Yeah.
Well, I think my parents are now going to be upset that we'll be living with them for a few months. So that's how they're going to react. Surprise, we're moving back in.
Oh, these poor people. Well, we're here after the big decision was made to actually gut the house. We have the crew right now packing stuff off to move all their furniture into a storage bin. Want to protect their furniture and get this place started.
Lots of booze, lots of booze.
Now, here's the ultimate reason we're doing a full gut on this basement, not to mention the reason I have to get proper point loads down here, which brought us into the fact we found the mold. This is what Mike found on his first day by opening up this section right here. We know if it's moldy right here, because this is mold right here on the back of this drywall. That is a lot of mold. I'm gonna have Pinchin Environmental come in and give me a proper air test. I am not disturbing anything else down here because we know that we need professionals in when we're dealing with mold, so we don't make our guys sick. Unfortunately, this is asbestos. Now, I'm not actually gonna touch it because when you disturb asbestos, that's when it becomes dangerous. I'll leave that in place, let them look at it. Hopefully it's only in the basement. I doubt very much it runs up the outside walls. They'll let me know.
When you get to something like this, it's just easier just to rip everything out and start all over. It's gonna be gutted anyway, so it's not gonna be a big deal. We're gonna end up shutting down all the power to the house. It's just gonna be easier for everyone else to work. We don't want anyone to get shocked or get hurt for that matter. So we're just gonna be shutting down the power and giving them temporary plugs.
This line was actually blocked. I should have just the water in the trap. This line from here up to all the way down to the basement should be empty. This indicates that there's a blockage somewhere down below. Another good reason why we're removing and gutting everything. Just gives me, a good chance to reroute everything properly.
There's no way for me to get this kitchen countertop out of here, but I'm gonna have to cut it in order to get it out. Guys, get your okay. Yep, that was their air would turn down here. Why is the furnace not expelling air? Try looking under your cabinets. We knew that there was a bit of asbestos on the pipes. I knew I was into a bit of a remediation at that point. What Pinchin has found is that we have asbestos within the plaster itself, and this is not something I was prepared for. job stops as of right here. They remediate the whole damn house, getting rid of the asbestos and all the mold that's left in this house.
Certain materials contained asbestos, and in homes, it's pretty much limited to plaster, possibly texture coat, pipe installations in old homes, maybe ceiling tiles, but they'd have to be very old, vinyl floor tiles, vinyl sheet flooring, and possibly drywall joint compound. Asbestos is a small fiber that takes a very long time to fall to the floor, so it can remain airborne a long time, and while it's airborne, you have a chance to inhale it. What it does is it lodges itself, for lack of a better word, in your lung. Your body will remove small particles, but asbestos is hazardous because it could be small enough that it can get down there, but large enough that your body can't clear it out. What the contractor's doing by regulation here is using Type 3 procedures, and what we do as the consulting firm and the inspection firm is we come and look at their enclosure as they set up to make sure that they've done the proper things to set it up. And that involves putting polyethylene on all surfaces so they don't get damaged from water, because you need to spray water to suppress dust. They install a shower so the workers can shower when they leave and remove any asbestos off the person. They use negative air machines, which are a HEPA-filtered unit that sucks air within it, filters it, and sends it outside. And it keeps the home under a constant negative pressure. So if there's any air leakage, it's into the enclosure and not out.
Years ago, they were not heating the basements here, a lot of coal, that kind of thing. So the pipes were insulated with air cell type asbestos. And on the corners or elbows of the asbestos, they packed it, then covered it all with canvas and lagging. What's happened is over the years, though, the canvas and lagging deteriorates and everything starts to fall apart, and that's when it becomes a hazard.
I'm having my mail sent here because we're gonna be here for a while. First day back after the mold remediation and asbestos remediation. I want this floor ripped up. I want interior walls down. I want the furnace disconnected, and I want the perimeter dug up so the Bowens can actually start their internal waterproofing. So Colin, I came down this morning, right away I looked at this wall because I was really worried about the amount of dirt. Like the dirt up on this side of the house, her grade is basically halfway up where the fireplace is. Sure enough, I've got a significant bow in this wall. This brick is actually being pushed into this house right now.
The lateral pressure, because the grade is about 3 feet above the floor joist in combination with that east trough system spilling over.
Yeah.
Every season we go through the freeze and thaw, whatever moisture's in that area, when it pushes, it's gonna push on this wall.
Right.
And continually make it worse.
Now this has to be fixed. I mean, it's just a matter of time before this wall caves in. And look at that. And I'm not even showing level yet.
Yeah.
That's level right there. So I'm, what, 5 inches off the wall there? That bow is
gotta be 5
inches, man. I'll get the engineer in and we'll go from there, man.
Okay. Right now we're starting the trenching process to install an internal weeping tile system. It's ultimately better to seal the foundation on the outside and not let any of the moisture at all transfer through the wall. Just we're limited in this case. It's a shared driveway. We don't have room to excavate. And on the other side, the house is right on the property line. So it's our only option to keep this basement dry is the internal system in this case. After the weeping tile system's installed, we're gonna install a drainage board membrane on the inside of the foundation. It's not like it's pooling water or huge amounts of water are getting in at once. It's just slight moisture everywhere that's been transferring through. So when we install our membrane up the foundation, there's dimples on the membrane that are gonna go towards the wall. And what that'll do is it'll allow this wall to eventually dry out.
We had an island on the main floor with the island sink. I have my hot and cold coming up, and then I have my 1.5 inch drain, which is coming from that island.
Yeah.
That drain actually continues across to the side, goes over to the stack, but then it goes up.
It goes back up?
It goes back up, and it ties into the stack with a little cheater vent.
You gotta be joking.
So remember when you guys were disconnecting the island, there was tons of water?
Yeah.
That water actually sits in that line because You
It turns up.
It turns up, yeah. So this entire pipe is filled with water that's been sitting
How
and
did they
breaking
ever
down.
drain it? It would have always had issues with that.
It was based on just a difference in pressure, right? As more water built up in the sink, in that island sink, it was at the higher elevation, so it forced a little bit of that water to go down through the stack. But again, it's very good that the drywall's been removed, that we have access to the entire plumbing, because like the
drywall's been removed. There's no wood left in this house, let alone drywall or plaster.
I'm trying to put it
in a positive spin.
Yeah.
Had the engineer come in yesterday. What we're going to do is build a 10-inch block wall straight in front of this, keeping in mind the bow. So we're going to be in front of that bow, tying back into it. We're going to actually have to extend the footing below here. That means tying in rebar into the existing footing, making it one structure again, and preventing the bow from becoming more significant.
Typically, a footing has to be twice as wide as the wall that's going to be built on it. We're going to be using 10-inch blocks, and in this case, what we've done is we've actually made the footing a little bit wider. This footing is going to be a total of 24 inches wide. Typically, the footing is going to be 8 inches thick, and again, in this case, we've made it a little thicker. We're at about 16 inches here for this footing, and we have 5/8 of an inch rebar encased the whole way.
This is the footing that's going to carry the weight from the beams on the main floor that carry the rest of the house above it. So this is a very integral part of this build. This is the biggest pad I've ever poured in my life for a point load of this kind. It starts everything. It makes me very happy. Oh my God. It's a freaking disaster. Right now I have water pouring into my house. It's a double brick foundation. Water's been pouring against that probably since this house has been built. This has always been here. And now that has actually deteriorated the brick and the mortar. Now I have a river running into my freaking house. Like, look at that water just pouring out of there. That is an incredible amount of water being brought right into your house. Temporary solution.
Ooh. Shock. I'm in complete shock. I didn't expect, I knew that, according to Mike, last time we saw him, this house should be condemned. And I didn't think he actually meant it.
It's not the same house, is it?
And here we are, to the brick. And beyond that, like, this is our attic, exposed and complete and utter shock. Wow, the open concept up here too.
You like open concept?
Not this much.
It's kind of too much?
Oh my God.
All right, let's start at the front of the house. Beautiful double brick construction, bricks in really good shape until we get to areas like this. See this wonderful crack?
I'm gonna guess whoever renoed the downstairs didn't do something right and it's not supported.
What's holding this double brick construction, which is about this wide?
I think
Steel beam.
that's it.
So when they put that steel beam in place, they actually snap the center.
It's a little bit like watching a bad movie. Like, we used to live here, like our bed was right there. Now, like, there's nothing, there's a cracked brick wall. Like, it just doesn't feel real. It's our home, but it doesn't feel like we lived here. Everything's destroyed.
So let's look at this jut out for a second. That's the original. See the plank boards that run out?
Okay.
This was the closet for this bedroom. That's why they did a jut out. Now, a very strange jut out, but look at the shape of it. There is minor mold that is there, but we did have the abatement guys that came in. Oh, by the way, did you know that your whole house was asbestos?
No.
No.
Yeah, it was every floor. I mean, your ceilings, walls, everywhere.
So this was a super bring the team in.
And we were going to start with renovations too. We were going to do our bathroom. Being pregnant during this process, twofold. One, I would love to be living in my house during this, emotional time and happy time. But two, it's a blessing in disguise. I don't want to be living in a house full of asbestos and mold.
Let's go to your old kitchen first.
Remember where that was? Yep.
Looks a lot smaller now.
All right, let's get into structure. They notched this beam because the floor sank down. They put this in place totally on a downright angle to tie into this beam. This beam is not even touching the floor joists. Totally incorrect anchors. I mean, I can't say enough about this. Totally incorrect tying on the beam here. We're gonna get a temporary support in here. And look at how it's not even holding the floor joist here. Let's look at the brick. Is that kind of overhanging the beam?
Yeah. The brick is wider than the beam.
Correct. That's a structural issue, okay? Look how they supported the roof. Now, 2x4 in the beam. This is not the way to structure all this.
No.
No, let's go further.
Oh.
We think they went right over the old porch. I now gotta pull this. And here's my biggest fear. Not only do I gotta fix all this, I think I gotta take your whole porch down, drop the window, remove everything, and redo it.
Oh.
The whole thing. This has been one heck of a lot of work in your basement, which would say why we haven't done so much upstairs yet. One of my biggest fears was messing with that wall. That wall is bowed 5 inches in the center. That means it does this. That wall is about to cave in.
Oh, yeah.
We have cut the floor and put in massive footings. We are going to now cinder block it up. We are going to anchor it into the floor. We're going to anchor it into the upper floor of the first floor. We are going to backfill with concrete in behind the wall, so we're creating a structural wall to hold the house and a benching system in behind it to hold that wall from coming in.
This whole thing started with a bit of a structural issue with the beam on the main floor. And now, what sounds like an even bigger structural issue to me is the basement wall, potentially on the verge of collapsing. Mike said, you know, it's not a matter of if, it's just when.
The amount of water that was pouring in this basement today alone, this was a perfect day to actually see the water coming in here. The downspouts going into your corners of your house was actually leaching water, so much water in here, it was a river of water in here. That's why there was that much mold in here. This was saturated in mold down here.
They've already dug around the whole outside and put in an interior weeping system. We're gonna control it from the inside. When we're done, we're gonna stud it, we're gonna spray foam it, and everything's gonna work the way we want it to. We seal in the chemicals around that wall from all the black roller crap they put on it. It should have been outside. We're going to structurally support this wall on the outside, which is just a massive scare at this point, especially as we gotta dig footings. We're going even deeper.
Wow.
It's done, it's poured, we're safe.
We're in the middle of this, and there's so many things wrong and so many things that need to get fixed that it's just, yeah, it's just really difficult to deal with.
I'm sorry you're gonna have to wait just a little longer. It's gonna take us a while. And I will do this as fast as we can, but at the right pace, okay?
That's fine. It's sad. And we're angry too. I mean, who do we direct our anger at? I don't know. The contractor, yes. The home inspector, yes. Ourselves, probably a little bit. I mean, do I regret buying this house? Yes.
I know I would have told you to run.
You mentioned that the first time we met.
I would have told you to run.
In hindsight, you know, we would have been in front of you. We would have beat you to the curb to get away from this house.
Okay. They did the plumbing wrong, they did the electrical wrong, they did the structure wrong, they did everything wrong. Look at the brick wall. It's caving in. Oh, you're right, it is.
We kept hearing about problems over and over again, like new problems that kept happening.
I think I gotta take your whole porch down, remove everything, and redo it.
Never could have envisioned anything of this magnitude having to be done to the place.
It's about the house. The house was wrong. We had to make it right.
Oh, wow. Oh, this is beautiful.
Go!
What I did was I was standing on this line here, and it wasn't stuck to the ground properly because there was water damage.
Okay, Carl. Very good. Somebody wants to go home.
Thank you.